Okay. What's up, good people? It's about that time. Let me introduce myself. My name is Franklin Frank Financial Brown. I am the founder of Live Free Give Hope, the real estate giveaway company. We are giving away a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment in Atlanta, Georgia, furnished with utilities. Plus, you can put this property on Airbnb if you don't need it. Plus, you can rent it out traditionally if you don't need it. Plus, you can give it away to someone if you don't need it. Plus, there's a lot of pluses. But I'm going to stop right there because I want to get into what we're here for today. Not going to be too long. So grab your lunch. As you can see, I'm riding around. I got my son right there, daughter right there, and my wife right there. We're actually riding around DC looking for a property for my daughter to purchase. I'm not sure if you guys heard in some of my last lives that me and my wife, we purchased our first investment property with a down payment. The down payment came from her student loans. Yes. Now, today's message, because we're talking about loans and student loans, definitely do not just take this advice blindly. Talk to your attorney. This is no kind of statement that you're going to get rich or that you should do this. I'm just saying what me and my wife have done and what we're doing with our daughter. Now, first we used her loans as a down payment. If you're on scholarship, if you're receiving, FAFSA, any kind of additional funds, you can use this money as a down payment. I was just put on game, guys. We're riding around DC and we're looking for the cheapest property. We're trying to find the best deal, and cheap doesn't always mean the best, but that's where we start. We want to find the best deal. We came across a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,097 square feet apartment, a condo. It's actually part of a co-op here in DC, about 5 minutes away from Howard University. They want $129,000, guys. That's Atlanta prices. 2 or 3 buildings down, and I'm talking about buildings, they're all attached. So 4 or 5, 3 or 4 is not too far, but they're asking for the same amount of square feet. They're asking, what was it, $575,000, guys? $500,000. Let me have that paper. You got that paper? Yep. So this right here, there's no income restrictions. Right up the street, they want a condo fee of $431 a month, and they're also selling the condo for $575,000. So the unit that we're looking at for my daughter is income restricted. Isn't that fantastic? If you make under $89,000, I believe, and there was another one we looked at, if you make under $63,000, you can apply to buy these homes. You know, what does that mean? As soon as I saw this, I began looking on Zillow to see if they have these same restrictions in Atlanta, because this helped me go over a new plan as far as whoever wins this, to be able to go from living rent free to buying a property. So if I'm staying there, let's say I win free rent for a year, I'm in this apartment, I'm able to stack up my money. No longer do I have to strive to make that $100,000 on paper, like we spoke about with some of the other ideas. Yes, we can shoot to still make extra money, but there's opportunity out there. You guys see what I'm saying? I went after $100,000 a year because I knew on paper, if you're making good money, that you can go and get approved for these things. But if I would have knew, even with regular money, I wouldn't have waited so long. There's so many things that we put in place, that these barriers that we believe are keeping us from our goals. I told you guys, after the bankruptcy, I thought that I had to wait 7 years in order to buy again. I was wrong. It was just something I was taught, and it was a barrier that made me wait a whole 7 years before I purchased again, when I could have just did owner financing. 90% of my portfolio is in owner financing. I waited 7 years when I could have just did it right away. So when I was looking up the Atlanta property and to find the income restrictions, I haven't found any yet. Now, I just started looking maybe 3 or 4 minutes ago. But what I did find was there was a list, and you guys can go into your Zillow, type in your Zillow income restrictions. And then when you do this, you will see all these organizations that have first-time homebuyer programs, down payment assistance. These are all things you can go from living for free to now, I'm not going to say owning for free, but you can for damn sure get into a property. And that's what this is about. That's one of the reasons I created Live Free, and so that you can start here and end up there. I'm going to step outside, guys, because it is quite warm. And you guys know I get fired up and excited when I'm talking about this. It's really not much. Let me go ahead and see what we got since I have a few minutes. Give me a second. So, another recap. If you're just joining, we often speak about ways that you can get rich, how you can be on the path to riches if you were living rent-free. Now, I'm up here in DC, and we're looking for a house for my daughter. So I've been an investor for 22 years. I've heard of it, but I've never ran into the situation on the income restrictions. Since my daughter's in college, obviously she doesn't make that much money. So now we can take advantage of these income restrictions. I'm going to look in Atlanta and find out what properties have these, because you can go from winning free rent to a year, stacking up a little dough, making a little extra money, and then getting into one of these, buying a home. Thank you for joining. What up, Titty? Is that Titty? You know, I don't know you, but I like your name. You know what I'm saying? So going from living rent free to having something. We just looked at this property. It's $129,000 in DC. 3 or 4 buildings down. They're all attached. 3 or 4 buildings down. They want $575,000 for the same square footage. But because if you make under $69,000 a year, they're allowing you to buy something like this. That's nothing but opportunity. You know, that's a way you can get in the game. I haven't found any in Atlanta, but I just start checking. I just found it. You know, I'm like, wow, if they have income restrictions in Georgia, just imagine you can go from living rent free to buying your own place on the low. You know, it's amazing the opportunities that's out here. And Teddy, what I was just saying is that my first time, I thought things that you had to do it this way or you had to do it that way, but I was incorrect. We used my wife's student loans to buy multiple properties. Our first property that we bought, our first investment property, student loans. The house was only $19,000, but still, if you're getting $2,000 to $3,000 on student loans, you can go ahead and put that to work. We're going to keep looking. If I come across anything, I will share it with you guys. I'm not going to be here long today because we are rocking and rolling and I'm in and out the car and I don't want to take you guys through that. So real quick, what you should do, hop on your Zillow or throw it in a Google search or Ask Chat. We're looking for properties with income restrictions. If you don't make that much dough and you're trying to get something, income restriction properties. We'll go deeper into this. I'm just learning about it now myself. So I'll share what I learned with you guys. I'll holla at you. It's been Frank Financial. Get your entries. The giveaway ends Christmas. Christmas is the last day. And if you look at the rules, if you're doing the mail-ins, it has to be post-dated by December 24th. This is your chance to win free rent for a year, furnished with utilities. You can rent it out. You can put it on short-term rental. You can give it to someone. And As long as they're 18 plus, you can give it to your child, your parent, a homeless individual, a neighbor. You can just keep it as a cave, a man cave, a woman cave, a hangout. You can have it for just after the football games. If you just want to hang out there on Sundays, after the Falcons game or after a Georgia's game or watch games there. Guys, you can do whatever you want with this. Not whatever you want, according to the lease. The lease is standard, like every probably 90% of every lease you've ever signed. There's nothing ridiculous in there, but of course you can't disturb the other tenants and so forth. You have to be a good neighbor. I'll post the lease up so everybody can see it. Post the lease. I think that's all I got for you guys today. Sorry to be so fast, but we're trying to get something. We're trying to get property for my daughter up here in D.C., and we want a property for my son. The property that she's looking at, that two bedroom, you can rent a bedroom out here for $1,000 a month. She only needs one of them, and she's here at school. So, of course, one of her classmates, this is where I'm going back to it again. So if you win this apartment for a year, maybe you want to think about going to school. Hope Scholarship, I can't remember how much they paid. When I was going to school, they paid 100%. I think my wife told me they pay less than that now. But just imagine going to school for free, taking out loans, but putting those loans to work. Why? Now, these aren't credit card loans. These are loans that usually you don't have to pay until you're finished with school, and the interest rate is normally lower than your traditional loans. That's why we used them. I knew instead of going and getting a personal loan or putting it on a credit card or a cash advance or any of that, the lowest rate at this time, I think we were paying, let's say 6%. A 6% loan, and we don't have to pay it off until 4 years. And another thing, you can defer it. There's so much you can do with that money. Now, you probably want to be going to school for free. How do you do that? The different loans, grants, whatever it may be. Whatever it may be, Sorry about that. We rocking and rolling in D.C. We got Young Financial over there, Got to get him a property too. The properties in Baltimore are a lot cheaper than the properties in D.C. So here we may be looking for a 2-bedroom, 1-bath for my daughter. But when we get to Baltimore, we're going to be looking at 4 bedrooms, maybe 5 bedrooms. See what we can get. We have him and 4 other students in there. My daughter, her, and another student in there, and get that cash flow generated. Now, I didn't even think about this. Let's say you're single or whatever. Is it possible you can win this prize? And I used to sleep on somebody's couch, guys. Is it possible for you to win this free rent, furnished with utilities, and rent out the bedroom? You sleep on the couch and rent out the bedroom. Or I have the current furniture in there, but let's just say you wanted to put an air mattress in there or do whatever you had to do. I'm not opposed to that. You know what I'm saying? And I told you I slept on somebody's couch. I slept in my car. I slept in a garage. What are you willing to do for your success? You can win this and kick up with your feet in the apartment and do nothing, or you can start going through these YouTube videos and figuring out, okay, I'm going to ride this lane. I'm going to do this. I'm going to try this, whatever it may be. Guys, that's all I got for you. We can touch upon this more. If you have any questions, hit me up. I'm available through DM, through social. If you want to tour the property, come on by. Not sure if you've seen the official rules, but it's goodies in there. There's a way for you to get all 600 entries without paying. Now, if you can, we need people to support with merch purchases so we can keep this going on. For you guys who have, thank you. For you guys that have done in the mail-ins, that's fantastic. Thank you. Keep that. We need all of that. We need all of that. This is for everybody. This is for everybody, guys. This is it for the folks who got $0, and this is for the folks who got all the dollars. You know, all the dollars, they may just want to win and give it to someone else and give it to someone, you know, or whatever it may be. That's all I got for you guys. This has been Frank Financial Brown, the founder of Live Free Give Hope. We are giving away a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment in Atlanta, furnished with utilities. It's sublettable. ChatGPT said that's a word. It is sublettable and it is transferable. I feel like there's more with it. Furnished with utilities. It is transferable and sublettable. I feel like I'm missing something, guys. But it's awesome. And you can join and you can enter for free. Now, you have to have all your entries in before, Christmas is the last day. If you're mailing it in, it has to be post dated by the 24th. But make sure you check out the official rules, because I don't want to steer you wrong anything. It's all in writing. It's all on the website. If you got any questions, let me know. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace.